Support for 100 Watts and a Wire is brought to you by 100wattsandawire.com. To subscribe to the show, simply click the RSS feed. While you're there, apply for your free 100 Watts ID and learn how you can help make 100 Watts and a Wire listener supported. Click the donate page and pick the option that works best for you. We've got a traveling toolkit, 100 Watts and a Wire gear, and more. That's 100wattsandawire.com. And ICOM. Communication has never been so fun than with ICOM. From D-Star to SDR, ICOM uses the most advanced technology in their radios. And Alpha Antenna. Alpha Antenna manufactures directional tuner-free HF antennas. For highly rated, customer-enhanced antennas, visit alphaantenna.com or call 1-888-482-3249. And Hamsphere 4.0. Hamsphere is a state-of-the-art computer-based transceiver that uses the internet to layer real-time, real-simulated propagation sky airwaves. To learn more about the new generation of virtualized professional radio, visit hamsphere.com.
And now, from Grid Square Echo Mike 48, this is 100 Watts and a Wire.
Well, yes, sir, and welcome to 100 Watts and a Wire, episode number 144. It is April 9th, 2018. And why is that interesting? Because, well, here in many parts of Missouri, it snowed last night. Luckily, it didn't stick around overnight. We're supposed to actually hit spring this week. I mean, the temperature's starting to go up. I'm looking at my garden beds. I'm looking at the box of seeds. I don't know. I put some seeds last weekend in the greenhouse. We're growing. I'm going to pick up some tomato plants from one of my old-timer friends. But there was a time, St. Patrick's Day was get your potatoes in the ground. Not in recent times. Not to get too crazy on the weather and climate change, but when you talk about these things, you need to realize you're talking about two different things. Your weather, your humidity, your temperatures, that's weather. Climate change is the study of weather over 30 plus years. So I hear the guys on the radio say, oh man, it snowed last night. Here we are in April, and not just Missouri, other places, Where's some of that global warming we need? Warm it up. That's not how that works. Lots of money to be made on both sides of that discussion. I'm going to stay out of that for now, but it is important to know factually that you're talking about two different things. Your weather, where you are, humidity, precipitation. That's weather. The study of your area and regions and that sort of thing, that's what they're studying with climate change over many years. Me, I stick with the gardening, what I know about my garden, what I know about the farmers across this great country. The American farmers will tell you they make their living in the dirt. And they can tell you, has it changed? So if you don't want to get very political, and I don't, and I am not a benefactor of any side of the argument, but I can tell you my asparagus and my strawberries are popping later. Okay. Be that as it may, we did have some cold temperatures all weekend, and I thought to myself, I've got this 100-watt solar panel. It's one of these, what are they? Crystalline foldable panels like a suitcase. And it's a Renogy. I bought it. It was the first thing I bought. I thought, I'm going to start going portable, and this thing is heavy. It's about 25 pounds. Anywho, I had it in multiple locations throughout the years. I've had this thing for a while. It's doing okay. It tilts, okay? So it's got this little, I don't know what they're called, man. They're like these things that will help it stand up. And you can adjust them. These adjustable legs will help you move it. In the wintertime, maybe you want to, position it so it's leaning back. Lean back, come on. Lean back, come on. Because, you want to catch more. And then you have that summer sun where it's up there, it's higher, it's up there longer. You may want to tilt it in a different way. Well, these things never really did. Well, they haven't been great. They're loose, they move. It's kind of a plastic that doesn't do well. And I've had it out at my greenhouse. I've had it at the old wooden shed that I've converted to a sort of field day and a 100 watts and a wire tune-up position for me. It's an old wooden structure out at the edge of the woods on my property. I call it the old wooden shed. Well, I put a solar panel there. Charge my batteries for those weekends where we get portable and get out there and get on the air. Well, I've decided that the 100 watt, it's 25, 28 pounds, just wasn't serving me in these locations. I put a different solar panel at the old wooden shed, and I put a Bio-Eno crystalline type panel with stronger support out at the greenhouse, a solar film, a power film solar panel up on the roof of the old wooden shed. So I've got two different things happening. The power film power film solar panel is flat. And I took one that they sell that's like, it goes on top of a golf cart. And it's flat. You roll it out and it's foldable. The Bio-Eno Power one is, like the one I'm talking about. But seems to be made much better. It's sturdy. It can get wet. Anyway, the point being is I moved the 100 pound, again with the 100 pound. Oh, Lord, help me. I should probably just light a candle. What am I talking about? Was this even on my list of topics? Maybe that's what the problem is. I need some more coffee or something. Outside of my shack, I put this 100 watt solar panel from Renogy. And I could be saying that name wrong too. Oh, man. But I've laid it flat. It's probably not going to serve me that well, but the way this thing is positioned in the back of my shack, I will get some midday and late afternoon sun, just enough to maybe top off my batteries. Otherwise, I was like, what am I going to do with this thing? It's too heavy for me to be portable with. It's just too much. You can do it, but they make lighter ones. If you're going to do the suitcase style, maybe bump down to 60 watts or something smaller. It's not as heavy and cumbersome. I just can't see my brothers and sisters on the Soda Mount taking these types of solar panels around. The ones that are suitcase style are probably better for the family that's out there with, rack mounted gear, setting up for field day, parking it down in the park. You're not taking this thing on a hike. Okay, so what I did was I laid it out there behind my shack, hoping to get enough sun to top off some of my batteries. And I think, it's going to do better there. But I had to feed the line from the back of this thing down into the shack. Came through a pass-through that I have, that I bring my coax into the house in. So it's out there. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's been cloudy here with lots of rain and snow in between. And I think we're at the point in our weather where you're just going to get to like, hey, summer's here. Your toes just melted together. Better get to the beach. Those transitions of spring into summer, it's just like that. Hot. We'll go right to 85 when it's time. This week seems like spring. It looks like, at least on the weather forecast prognostication thingies, the weathermen that are wrong most of the time. That's what I meant to say. It looked like this week's going to be all right, but we'll see. That was one of the main quick projects I worked on was just trying to figure out what to do with this solar panel. It's 100 watts. It still works. I've rewired it. Now I just need to reposition it, repurpose it, and see if it can make I can't run. The sun is not pounding. I'm not facing south. When you do your solar panels, you want to have them facing south as much as you can to get more sun. That's the way it works. But I was able to put up the charge controller in the house, run the cables in, kind of get those things together. It's not interfering at this point with anything radio related. And we'll see how it goes. I've heard stories about solar panels causing problems, or maybe it's the charge controller that's doing something weird and introducing some RFI. My apologies to PowerFilm Solar for butchering your name. But look, you got on, okay? I just changed the name, okay? You know what I meant. Some announcements to give to you on this episode, and we'll let you go back, get on the treadmill, do what you do, and get to work and start off the work week. We'll come back with some new announcements next.
From the summit to the shack, this is 100 watts and a wire.
The SDR you have asked for is here. ICOM's new 7610 is a high-performance RMDR with the ability to pick out the faintest of signals, even in the presence of stronger adjacent signals. The new IC7610 is a direct sampling, software-defined radio that will change the world's definition of an SDR transceiver. It has RF direct sampling, 110 dB RMDR, an independent dual receiver, and dual digi-select. And whether you're looking to enter the world of D-Star or need a backup D-Star portable for your Go kit, the ID31A Plus is the perfect radio. It's easy to operate, the ID31A Plus, and it's available in silver, red, or gold. It features worldwide digital communication. You can share pictures and text messages. IPX7 waterproof. It's compact, lightweight, and tough. Hey, are you going to Hamvention 2018? Become one of the 100 lucky winners to take home a limited edition swag kit. Visit ICOM's website to enter, and you can visit icomamerica.com/amateur to learn more about all ICOM radios.
In a land where we're all 20 over, this is 100 watts and a wire.
All right, it's Christian back in the squeaky chair, and this is a newer chair too. I don't know. Maybe my dupa is just putting way too much stress on it, and it just needs to talk to you. I'm a broadcaster for a long, long time, and I've got my own little things I do. Maybe I'll wiggle. Maybe I'll wiggle a little bit. Some people tap their foot. Some people do like the chicken neck, like it's a dance or something. Me, I think I'll wiggle, and it could just be these old bones need to move a little bit, but this chair, it's not doing it now. Maybe if I position myself just so. Well, speaking of PowerFilm Solar, they had a very generous offer for me earlier in the year. They decided they were going to go to the Hamvention in Xenia, Ohio. And Seth called me up. Ring. I thought he was asking me to be the best man in his upcoming wedding. Sadly, that was not it. I hung up on him. He called me back. And he said, what I'm thinking is, would you like to come be in our tent, our booth, at Xenia for Hamvention? I was like, and I hadn't thought about it because, when I go to Xenia, I don't put too many things on my plate. If there's a meetup there, maybe, grab a drink with an old friend, the camaraderie, the flea market, milling about, those are kind of the things that I dig there. I don't go there really for business. But I go there, to meet you guys. If you guys are there, I'm putting around, checking things out. Cool. But I never really had a plan for a booth, per se. And I was like, well, yeah, that's a generous offer. Thank you. I don't know what I'll do with that, but I'll make it my base camp. Make it a base camp there. I'll drop my bag down there, and maybe we'll put up a banner. All right. And suddenly, maybe not so sudden, PowerFilm Solar has decided they will not be attending Hamvention in Xenia in 2018, and a little birdie told me that they're working on some other things, infrastructure to their website. They've got some other things that they need to manage first. Totally get it. So I was like, okay, well, all right, fine, okay, sure, all right then. So the plan remains the same, to go to Xenia, putt around the flea market, meet some friends, say hello, ring, yeah. Oh, hi, Emmett. So I talked to Emmett, Whiskey Zero Quebec Hotel from Radio Waves. You know he's a trustee. I don't know how all this works with MCOM 1. I really don't know how all this works. I don't know if it's a bunch of different people went in to create this vehicle with ICOM. It's an amazing vehicle. Look up MCOM 1. Just on 100 watts and a wire, the Facebook group. And you'll see this beautiful van. I mean, it is tricked out to help real emergency responders do their gig when the, S hits the F. So we start discussing over the weekend, and what we're going to do is MCOM 1 will be Basecamp for 100 watts and a wire. I will go there and have a presence there that weekend at MCOM 1. So now as you make your mental notes about Xenia Hamvention this year, put the MCOM 1 vehicle and its display. It'll be in the display area where you can look in there, probably from a distance. There's a lot going on. Real emergency responders, can get access to go in there and see what things are like, I'm pretty sure you can peep in. You just may not be able to go in there and touch everything. I don't know how all this works. MCOM 1 and 100 watts and a wire will team up in Xenia, Ohio for Hamvention 2018. So mark that on your calendars. The display area, MCOM 1, that's where you'll find us. I'm thinking about getting sort of a 100 watts and a wire flag to put up on the mast, because Emmett doesn't do anything that's really like partially. And you always go full out, which I appreciate, at Hamvention, which means he may put up the hex beam. He could have a scout up there. I don't know all the plans so far, but that's where you can find us. Maybe we'll do a meetup there. And one of the cool things where this all started was I talked to Emmett about doing the 100 watts and a wire net from Xenia, Ohio, from MCOM 1. The format's probably going to change anyway. That's going to always kind of stay fluid. We'll talk a bit more about that in a little bit. I don't want to get complacent with the way we do things. It's not going to be your traditional net. Things are going to change. It's how it's going to be. Or, we can't do it anymore. I just get, fickle, and things, you got to do something different. The something different from Xenia Hamvention, I hear they still call it the Dayton Hamvention because they've got the trademark on the name, but it'll be in Xenia no matter what. But the 100 watts and a wire net will run from MCOM 1 in Xenia during the Hamvention. So that's cool. And maybe we'll have some guest operators there as well, but we'll be doing HF from the MCOM 1 vehicle. And the 100 watts and a wire net will happen on that Thursday. And maybe we'll do some more operating over the weekend. Like I said, I'm not tied down to try to sell you stuff while I'm there. I have a different reason for going. The vendors are doing their things. The people who have shows that want to sell you things, they're down there trying to sell you things because you're coming there with a pocket full of money. And that's just kind of what it's all about. For me, I'm going there to hang out with you guys. I don't sell anything. I haven't created anything really, beyond the store. We have a store. We have a logo and lots of things you can put it on and wear it on. And I encourage you to do that because that helps. I'm not trying to sell books and microphones and radios. It's not why I'm going there. Mark that on your mental calendar, MCOM 1 and 100 Watts in a Wire at this year's Dayton Hamvention and Xenia, Ohio 2018. Should be a lot of fun. We'll do the net and some other things and some other operating from there. It is cool. Do a search for it. You can take a peek online. There's been videos made about it. And we'll catch you there. We'll come back. I'll tell you a little bit more talking about the net. And then we'll wrap things up here. A couple more things I want to talk about before I let you go.
Whether you say 73 or 73, even 73s, we're still 100 watts and a wire.
American HF antenna products manufactured in the USA by real Americans. That's Alpha Antenna. Great antenna systems that don't hide issues behind an antenna tuner. That's Alpha Antenna. Highest EHAM reviews of any antenna manufacturer. That's Alpha Antenna. Targeted directional signal launching systems. That's Alpha Antenna. Full disclosure of all antenna analyzer data. That's Alpha Antenna. Antenna systems that are improved based on customer feedback. That's Alpha Antenna. Come to alphaantenna.com for your base, mobile, or portable militarized HF antenna systems. God bless America and Alpha Antenna.
More contacts, less Alpha hotels. This is 100 watts and a wire.
Oh, that's right. It's Christian back with you now in the studio here in St. Louis. I want to talk to you a little bit about summertime. It always brings different scheduling. Everybody's doing different things. You've got kids. You're taking them to the pool. You're taking them here. You're doing that. Here we are. The temperatures may not be telling us that spring and summer are here, but the schedules are still that way. And because of this, and the way we have the net structured right now, I don't have to be net control by myself all the time. That's how we used to do it in the olden days. Circa 2015. And if I wasn't able to make it, nobody ran it. Now there's at least 6 net control operators that could do it. You could have just one and have the people serve as relays if you really wanted to. I like spreading it out, meaning having some coverage across the country and doing it that way. Well, I've got a week where I can't really be there at the start, and I may get there toward the end. I may just have to meet people on 160 in a quiet spot somewhere for a cigar and a glass of bourbon. However, this week we've got a special guest that'll be there, and it's Rhea, November 2, Romeo Juliet, N2RJ. She's going to run on 40 meters on my behalf from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m., She's one of the premier contesters, and she's a YL, so mind your manners, boys. The pileups have been wonderful week after week on the 100 Watts and a Wire net. Thursday nights, that's when we do it. We start on 40 meters. People say every week, "See, child, where you gonna be, man?" And it's not like, Seinfeld, where we're on, 7 o'clock Central and Channel 23 or whatever. We're going to start 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern. Somewhere near, if we can, 7180, but we don't always get that frequency and we have to move. Do like the old timers used to do and just turn your dial and you'll find us. Little trick is about 15 minutes before, sometimes even longer, a net control operator will come on. They'll grab a frequency and hold it down, have a QSO, and just to get the frequency, if it's available, hold it and kick it off. This Thursday, friends, Rhea N2RJ will run on 40 meters only from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. as my special guest net control operator, and it's going to be casual. Maybe one day down the line, we'll have fun. I'd like to work with her where we could run like that and see what we could do. The most check-ins we've ever done in the history of this thing has been 236, but it was like a contest. It was 3 operators, myself included, with 100 watts and a Drake TR7, and we were bang, 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 next, bang, 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 next, bang, 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 bang. That's how it's going to be. It could be with Rhea, but we are going to slow it down, give you a chance to say hello. She has a killer station from New Jersey. She'll have net control operators assisting her. 1 in Maine and 1 in Colorado, and that's it. 1 hour. Then the net will continue with a scheduled lineup after that with the traditional net control operators. And it'll move to 80, just like this is a guest of mine. So listen in for that on Thursday, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Central, 40 meters, and 2RJ rocks the house. Lastly, before I wrap things up here, I want to remind you the store is open. Go to 100wattsandawire.com. You can order your T-shirts. We've got mugs there. There's also a 15% discount this week. And there'll be other discounts and different promotional things as we go. So far, so good. We started using a different company. I used to use a local shop here, but the prices got too high and I just couldn't pass on. I was losing money and I just didn't feel it was cool to pass the burden on to you guys. However, we're working with a new company. Seems to be working well. You get your gear much faster now. So if you're interested in wearing the 100 Watts and a Wire logo, go to 100wattsandawire.com and go ahead into the shop there and get you something. I've been thinking about YouTube and our YouTube channel, and I like it so far. I know YouTube has gotten a little heat. We don't have enough people for me to get upset about YouTube, but, folks who've got, tens of thousands of followers, and they make some money off of YouTube. Some people make their money completely off of YouTube. They have hundreds of thousands of people, and YouTube pays them out. I don't really even know how that works. Right now, we're like 300, and that's fine. I'm a gardener. We're good. And I'm not leaning on it for my income. It's just video extras from this show. And I've been thinking, Sundays are a day I always get up early. Always early anyway, but I go outside and I at least check the lines. I want to make sure the storm's coming through, and as we hit spring, lots of lightning, lots of wind. And I find myself out there in the habit of, on Sundays, checking my lines. So I'm thinking about now making Sundays my video day, where I'll go off into the woods like I do and maybe answer some listener questions. So if you have questions about the show, where we're going, the net, the toolbox, that sort of stuff, upcoming events, where we're going, feel free to shoot me an email with or without your name and call sign. That'd be okay. That's fine. I know maybe some people don't want to be recognized with their call sign. Just give me your name, send me your question, and I'll try to answer those for you. Or as they say in Missouri, some people, for you. I got this for you. My daddy was in the war. I don't know. I'm not from here. I don't know. Every area's got their own dialect and their own sort of accent. Far, war. So F-A-R, how do you say F-A-R? Locals. Because they say for F-O-R, F-A-R. Anyway, I'll send your questions over. You can find my email at 100wattsandawire.com. You can also do it on Facebook, Twitter. I'll find it. And then I'll sit down on a rock and answer some of your questions. That way we'll get some videos up there anyway. If you're asking me about, phased arrays and ratios and velocity factors, don't do that to me. No. There are other people in my camp that can do that, and they help out. They're great Elmers, great big minds, that kind of thing. No, don't do that to me. That ain't right. Before I let you go, don't forget about the sustaining member benefit. What's that you say? For $25, you donate $25 to 100 Watts and a Wire. Then you are added to this list of sustaining members. And your benefit becomes you can get discounts at participating companies. So, in other words, it's a win-win-win. $25 comes to the show. It helps with promotion and production. Keeps the wheels moving. Lubed and gassed up. Don't put gas on your wheels. It came out wrong. This is why you don't ask me questions about velocity factors. Okay. $25 comes to the show. You get added to this list for the benefit. Companies like PowerFilm Solar, Radio Waves, BioNO Power, Chameleon Antennas, MFJ, and others are giving members discounts when it's time to buy and it's time for your spring and summer projects. This will pay for itself over time with the benefits. Visit 100wattsandwire.com, click the donate page, and figure out the best way that works for you. Several different options. Patreon, you can give what you can, when you can. Figure out what works for you. Hook it up. I appreciate you. For now, friends, I'll make that my final. I hope the weather breaks here in Missouri this week. I've got seeds to get in the ground. It's going to be a busy, busy summer, and I'd like some of them fresh tomatoes. Those fresh tomatoes. Oh, Lord, I will grow tons of those. It's hard to beat a fresh tomato on any sandwich. You speaking my language? I know you do. Have a great week. We'll catch up with you next time if you can. And if it fits into your schedule this week, please try and stay above the noise.
To join the 100 Watts and a Wire community, visit 100wattsandawire.com.